Hello everybody, welcome back to the international meeting of the Collectif Pour Chevaux. This is the second day. We're here to try to build an action plan together to protect the horses in the warm-up arenas against hyperflexion by enforcing the already existing rules. We are not here to make new rules, it's just to enforce the already existing rules, which are quite good. So I thank everybody for having been here yesterday, all the guest speakers, everybody, the whole team that has helped me. Thank you very much. And especially the guest speakers who have given us much information, very important information. Information means education, and education is the key word for everything we want to do. Yesterday, so I just made a quick little slide with the most important things we saw together yesterday, which can be applied in an action plan to better help the stewards to protect the horses. So we saw that there was a lot of work to do in marketing, and it would be good to put up an international campaign, including the stewards in it, and always the same thing, information and education. What is a very important keyword is what Hans Wies said, is that stewards need to have they need the information, but then they need to have the courage to intervene. It is not easy to intervene on a showground. It's not easy for us, it's not easy for them, it's not easy for anyone. So they should have more backup, and we thought about technical backup with moments in time who can really show the stewards what's going on. If they have a doubt, if it's not clear for our naked eye to see, they can always go to this, and even afterwards, like in several sports, they sometimes look afterwards. It's not a problem. There can be a list of riders that can be difficult and that we know we should intervene more on them, for example. And then one thing that is not really for the stewards' action plan, but that is important, that I had the impression that everyone here was agreeing on, that is that the flash nose bands are totally useless and we can really ask to ban them. Something very important also is something somebody said yesterday. We can agree to disagree, because today the FEI will talk. The federations are here, we have the Dutch Federation is here, and also the French Federation who is represented. So it's really very important that they're here. I thank them again for being here. We can agree to disagree, but we can still discuss in order to find mutual grounds. Discussing does not mean only talking, it also means listening to each other. This is very important. But then the same person told me, you say hyperflexion begins from the vertical. I do not agree, as in some situations, a nose a little behind the vertical is not abusive to me. Which means I did not speak clearly enough yesterday, and it is something that many people tell us from the collective. People tell us we're extremists because we say that hyperflexion starts from the vertical, and people think that saying this, we say that from the vertical it's abuse, but that is not what we say. So I'll let you read what we've made. This is the same slide I showed yesterday. The Collectif Pour Chevaux considers that hyperflexion is at best unnecessary and restrictive, at worst counterproductive and abusive. We have never claimed that a few strides with the nose slightly behind the vertical is abuse, even if one should try to avoid it. We warn against the widespread, methodical and systematic use of hyperflexion, as it can be considered abusive. That's the difference. So according to the members, what I said yesterday, according to the members of the Collectif Pour Chevaux, the attitude of hyperflexion is not reserved to the chin-to-chest roll-cur posture. Hyperflexion begins as soon as the horse's nose is brought behind the vertical by the rider, whether on foot, in the saddle, or driving. We do not consider all hyperflexion situations to be abusive, but we should at all times avoid taking and holding the horse's nose behind the vertical, whether the neck is high or low. The various situations of hyperflexion are at best unnecessary and burdensome, at worst counterproductive, and yes, abusive. And I wanted to point out this problem of the word hyperflexion, which has a very bad reputation. It's the same thing as smoking. Smoking has a very bad reputation, but it's normal, because smoking is not good for health. So it's not because somebody just smokes one cigarette once a week that we say this is relaxation. It's still smoking. So hyperflexion, even if it's just a little bit, is still hyperflexion. The risk is not the same. The risk for going to abuse is not the same, but there is a risk for any horse. A little bit behind the vertical for some horses is really very hard. Really very hard. So it depends on the situations. We all agree on this. It's the situations. But the word hyperflexion, I think we really have to take the courage that the international equestrian industry learns to use this word, because it is not what we want to see for the horses. And then also, I was told that we were all talking about LDR, but that never any one of us explained what LDR means. So this also means that somebody wasn't listening to what I said yesterday. So somebody took a little picture yesterday. I was here presenting this. I did say what LDR is according to the FEI. And I did show a video of a horse in prolonged LDR, many horses in prolonged LDR, so this is LDR. I said the so-called low, deep and round is the most widespread form of hyperflexion, because many people believe it is harmless and even indispensable to the training of horses. Here's a quick non-exhaustive list of what several of the scientific studies had revealed about the harmfulness of LDR, which is why the Collectif Pour les Chevaux does not accept its use under any circumstance. A horse should not be held in this posture at all, because LDR impairs frontal vision, it impairs breathing, etc. Now today, this morning, the FEI is going to have a round table. There are 3 people that will be on video conference. We thank them enormously because they are on a competition ground, actually, so they take the time to come and talk to us by video conference. Many thanks to them. Also, we have Jean-Philippe Camboli from the FEI who is here, who will do the guiding of this round table, and Charles Trollier, who is a veterinary from the FEI, who is here too. We wanted just to give a little introduction. This catalog of criteria from the German Federation is a very, very, very good tool. The thing is that the conspicuous issues are not taken seriously enough for the moment by the stewards, and we think that they should intervene quicker on them to avoid this. We shouldn't actually have this anymore on the warm-ups, and this can be totally avoided by intervening quicker here, and that is not what we see today. So the message is protect the horses, not the riders. It's about horse-friendly conduct by the riders towards their horses, not about rider-friendly conduct by the stewards towards the riders. So this is this video. I've cut it a bit to make to explain why I wanted to talk about this video. I hope it's clear enough because I didn't have much time to prepare it. So I'm sorry if it's not clear. If there are questions, you can always ask me. Thank you.
Example of what can be seen very regularly in warm-ups, and this video explains this should be monitored. And that if it evolves this way, the steward can intervene.
He can give a red card in this case. The video says.
And then there's a sequence where the video shows that if it evolves in a better way, then there is no need to intervene.
Better way is what the video says. It's not what the collective.
But what can be seen here is LDR. It's clear hyperflexion. In fact, there is only one little sequence of correct horse-friendly riding in this video, and this is this one. But then again, it's followed by a sequence with a nose clearly behind the vertical. And another sequence, which is supposed to be a good example, and again a horse with the nose clearly behind the vertical. This is a sequence that does not come from the video of the criteria. This is a French rider at her stallion, which is a sequence that is missing in the video of the German Federation, because it shows a horse with the nose at or in front of the vertical,
Except
with an
just
example of a nose momentarily behind the vertical.
So this is what we call momentarily. It's just a moment. And then I can agree, we do not interfere. But the video of the German Federation, we see too much LDR on it.
And this needs intervention from a steward, because this needs to be stopped. And if the stewards could hand out a red card for this situation, then this situation would be avoided.
Okay. So this is also what I wanted to say yesterday when I didn't have time to do the introduction for Shelby. I think it's an interesting picture because you can see what Geraldine explained, that there's too much tension here. You can see the skin is a little bit compressed here, and then this is a photo with a pain face. This is not very nice either. We saw this yesterday. It was a huge poster that hung up at the entrance of the CDIO of Compiègne this year. It's at the entrance of Compiègne. Okay, so not so good. And this is also an important takeaway message. Non-horse-friendly conduct does not necessarily mean rough aids. And no pain signals from the horse does not necessarily mean horse-friendly conduct, because there is learned helplessness, and in some cases horses do not show any pain signals, but doesn't mean that everything's fine. I let you have the word now, the rest of the first half of the morning today. Thank you very much.